Hello YouTube, I wasn't doing nothing. I've been away for a little bit. I've been away from the YouTube space, from the YouTube world. I guess a lot of people are wanting an explanation on this. Right, quick little message from our sponsor of the day, EduBirdie or EduBirdie. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it doesn't matter how you pronounce it because they do every bit of work for you, right? I know you're lazy stoners watching this. I know 50% of you are some lazy stoners watching this, and you want your term papers written, your essays written for you while you toke up and just let it go. EduBirdie, EduBirdie, whatever you want to call it, they do it for you. They'll write your term paper for you. The link is in the description. Make sure you hit them the fuck up. Right, so first of all, I've been a little bit demotivated, but mainly I've been in Spain. I've been in Spain for this event called Cannabis. It's like a massive cannabis convention. It's like, I don't know if you've been to Warp Tour or whether you've been to some in the city or whether you've been to Insomnia, but it's basically like that, but for weed. And personally, I didn't really want to record it. I was gonna do like a whole vlog and like record the weekend and stuff, but it's just, at the end of the day, I really wanted to enjoy it, and it's the first time I've gone to this event, and I thought I would rather enjoy it than I would film it, and at least that way the next time when I go back to it, I can actually film it and know what to film. So yeah, it's been a bit hectic and a bit all over the place, but I am working on a lot of things right now. I'm working on so much shit that I need to release, so this is hopefully gonna be quite good. And to those of you asking about the 2 gram dab video, that will be coming shortly. If you don't know why it's 2 grams instead of 1 gram, then you'll know at some point shortly in the future. So when the video comes out. So the point of this video really is to just say hello, I'm fucking back. I'm going to be making lots of videos way more regularly than I was before. Secondly, this is also a little Q&A because recently, right, I've done all these Blazed Q&As in the past year. I haven't done a regular Q&A where I get blazed and I answer questions. So today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. I'm going to answer your guys' questions that you've said to me, and we're gonna get on this thing. We're gonna answer all the questions. You've probably got this question before, but when was the first time you smoked? I have had this question before. I've made a whole video on it. You can go see that. If you could only smoke one strain for the rest of your life, what would it be? I would have to pick an OG strain of some sort. But I don't know whether I'd be able to answer that. I think right now, I'd probably go for the Tyson OG. I could smoke on that for the rest of my fucking life. What type of music do you listen to? Oh, fucking hell, right. The type of music I listen to, you know, people ask me this question all the time, like, what music are you into? You must listen to fucking this and this and this. Right, I listen to like all sorts of music, like a massive range, so massive actually that I have a playlist of all of the types of music that I listen to. It's got like 400 and something songs on it or something like that. If you want to go check that playlist out, I'll leave it in the description so you can see what music I do like, because that's probably the easiest way I can answer this question, because I really don't have a set genre that I listen to. So if you go through that playlist, you'll have a good time figuring out what I listen to. Any metal bands you're into or rock at all? After Warp Tour? Nah. Nah. What's the easiest way to get the best strains in the UK? Right now it's just having the good contacts, because to be honest, like, you can go to certain areas and you can know certain people, but it's once you have a network of like tons of people who are all picking up different bud all the time, then you can message them. That's the best way to find bud in the UK, I think, at the moment, is to have a community that you're a part of, which everyone else is looking for flavors as well, and then you can just literally put in like a group chat like, hey, I'm looking for this, and somebody will be able to tell you where it is. So that's what I think is the best way to get bud in the UK is right now. Will you ever stop smoking weed? This is a good one. I get asked by my parents all the time. But basically, right, I smoke for medicinal purposes, which actually leads me on to another question. Somebody asked me, I'm not sure whether they asked me this on Twitter or whether they asked me it in the YouTube comments, so I might not be able to screenshot the comment, but somebody said, what do you actually use medicinal cannabis for? And so I feel like I should probably go into that and explain. If you've been following my channel for like a really long time, you'll know that I had some really bad mental health issues back in, basically stemming from like 2011 until 2014, when it was properly hard, and I got like attacked and like properly like fucked up by some people, which destroyed my mental state even further in 2013, and I was put on beta blockers, which basically stop adrenaline from getting into your brain, right? So if you don't have adrenaline getting into your brain, that means obviously you're not going to have any anxiety, and you're not going to be freaking out, and you're not going to be having panic attacks all the time. But also that means, because I'm a free runner and I skate and I do parkour and all of that sort of stuff, it means I couldn't do any of that, because adrenaline is what makes you able to do that. It's what makes you able to just walk. So for like a whole year when I was on this medication, I just couldn't do anything. But then if I wasn't on the medication, I also couldn't do anything. So it was this fucked cycle of literally being a blob, of just being this blob that wasn't me. And it was quite painful for quite a lot of my family to watch, and it was quite painful for all my friends to watch, and it was just not a nice experience in general. And one of my friends from the US said, stop taking that medication and start smoking. And I started smoking in the UK, trying to take off the medication, and just started smoking. And then I moved out to California in 2015 when I finally got a prescription from a doctor. I actually paid extra for the medical card than you would normally, so that I could actually see a regular doctor, like, well, not a regular doctor, but a proper professional weed doctor who can actually tell you what you need. And that really helped, because I never had to take any of my medication after that, because even up until the point when I left to California, I still occasionally had to take my medication, because cannabis didn't always work. Sometimes it would make it worse because I would get sativa. That's why I smoke, basically. That's why I say, you know, I'm a medicinal smoker, because without it, my life was literally like completely fucked. So it's quite nice. And then also, obviously there's the other side of things where I had the tumor, the benign tumor, and I had to use cannabis oils on that. So there's like two different situations where I've had to use cannabis medicinally. One is just in my day-to-day life, just every single day I have to sort of use it, so I don't ever have to go back to that old medication. And at the same time, I've also had to use it temporarily in the oil form for a benign tumor. So that is why I use cannabis medicinally. Yeah. If you put something up your nose, does it go to your throat or your brain? I think it depends on what you stick up your nose, right? If it's not like a straight thing and you're just not going to pierce you, then it'll go in your throat. But if it's going to pierce you, then it'll go in your brain, right? No? Alright, right. My J is just about over. J's just finishing. Let me just... Perfect. Right. The last question on this whole thing is the best strain you've ever tried and the best blunt wraps available. So everyone always asks me what's the best strain I've ever tried, right? I think it's my own personal strain, which I have had help from a breeder breeding, because obviously it's the strain that I bred for myself, right? It's not commercially available, so that's why I obviously didn't pick it in a strain that I would smoke until the day I die. I can't obviously get access to it all the time because it's in America. Personally, that is one of the best smokes that I've ever had, and I don't want to give away the genetics. And the best blunt wraps I've ever had, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of like backwoods or anything like that. I'm not actually a big fan of blunts in general. I actually have a tattoo, right? Not a lot of people know this, but I have a tattoo of the word blunt on the back of my leg, right? But it's because I'm a blunt person. I've always wanted this tattoo since I was like really young, and it's just because I'm a very, very blunt person. I actually don't like smoking blunts very much. So, because like, look, I smoke with tobacco, but I sprinkle the tiniest amount of tobacco in my spliffs, right? So, when it comes to like blunts, like that's a lot of fucking tobacco. That is a lot of tobacco, right? And I'm not down for that. Not down for that. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Thank you very much for coming along and watching this video. If you want me to do any more Q&As, then let me know. If you know anyone that you want to do a Blaze Q&A with, that would be fucking sick. That would be fucking sick. Make sure you tweet at them and you say like, you know, oh, you've got to do this fucking Blaze Q&A thing with me, and then link the Callum one or something like that. I want to revamp a couple things. I want to revamp my Patreon, so I'll have the link in the description for the Patreon. I'm not sure whether it will be revamped by the time I actually upload this video, but I want to put everything towards the GoFundMe, because at the moment the GoFundMe is on £1,000. I know this is fucking crazy, right? It's after I thought it would get to 6 months, right, and we would be on like £100, but it's the fact that it's been like a month. and it's on £1,000 is quite fucking crazy. So I want to change my Patreon up, and I want to dedicate my Patreon to every single month going onto the GoFundMe. So if you want to have a more direct link and you want to pay monthly towards the GoFundMe and stuff, any donations and every donation that comes through on the Patreon is going straight to the GoFundMe. So even if you're getting the rewards and stuff, everything is going towards the GoFundMe. So every single month you'll see a little thing on the GoFundMe saying an offline payment, and it'll be whatever the Patreon thing was for that month. So if you're able to support, that would be fucking amazing. Like, that would be fucking amazing. The papers are currently low on stock at the moment, so if you want to grab yourself any Drusive papers, the link will be in the description. We've like basically almost about to sell out, so I'm going to put in a new order. So they might be a bit different. They might be a little bit of a different design. Who knows? everything you need, description. So subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff in it, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. That would be quite sick. Make sure I actually want to know this right before you go. Leave a comment telling me what your favorite video I've ever made is. Like what you think the best video I've ever made is, because I'm sure everyone will have different opinions, and I want to make more stuff which you guys think is the best, and that's all I want to do. I want to be able to make the best of the best at the moment. That's what will get me motivated. Alright, in a bit, peace.
Keep a gold chain on my neck, fly as a jet. Boy, better treat me with respect. Keep a gold chain on my neck, fly as a jet. Boy, better treat me with respect.